Hi, my name is Brandy Lee, and I am a clothing maker and a fashion designer. I've been making clothes for 16 years, and I've been doing it professionally for the last 10 for sure. I make clothes, fashion is my medium because it plays such an integral role in society, in self-expression, and individualism. And I think that that's such an important, it's an important part for me to influence that. And I love the construction of clothing. I love taking something that is just raw goods and turning it into something wearable, something valuable, something artistic. I describe my work to other people as fun, unexpected, quality. It has a lot of theatrics to it sometimes, and sustainable for sure. I wish that people knew how long it takes to make a garment, and that it mostly takes a human to do it. I would love people to remember that as they move forward, buying clothes, investing in pieces, and just in general think about their footprint in clothing whenever they buy. We have our dressing room area here. This is market stuff, and then this is where clients will come and get dressed and get fitted for the garments, and they have a nice big mirror. Last year I had a big year. I did several shows. I'm in the planting season currently of the next year to come. This award was incredibly impactful because not only was it an acknowledgement in my field, and that was truly something special, but it was also a financial blessing because it did help me finish a project that I already had in motion. And then it also funded the last show that I did, and it took me to Austin, Texas, where I got to introduce my work into a whole new market. I got to represent Arkansas in the fashion industry and in the sustainable fashion industry. And so that was really important, and I actually could not have done it had I not gotten that award. So I appreciate it and thank you. I think that this award is important because there are people all across Arkansas in all kinds of different mediums that are pouring their heart and soul into their work. And we live in such a aggressive, negative, just on edge time in society that the people who are out there trying to change your mind, open your heart, open your door, that are just trying to provide some happiness or some joy or some thought, that right now in the time that we live in, those people deserve to be awarded. Those people deserve to be recognized. And that's why I think that this award is important.
My name is Kirsten Ferranuti, and I create a variety of different artworks. I do 2D mixed media along with wearable art, and I also kind of combine everything into installation work as well. And I have been practicing artwork for about 18 years now. I've been an artist and a designer for many years, and I absolutely love it. My background was in fashion design, so I'm also bridging fashion and science and travel all together. So that's what really inspires my work. I bring in a lot of beadwork. Everything's handmade. All the garments I create are done. The pattern work, all of that is all done from scratch. I would describe my work as a mixed media collage of beadwork, fiber art, 2D work, gouache, painting, acrylics, kind of all crammed into like one thing. I create my artwork from the wonder that I get from nature and my travels. I love to explore the world. I love to go to places that are completely different than my home and experience different cultures. And I love to kind of dive into the science, medical fields, things like that. So, what I love most about artwork, really, and especially my artwork, is I'm able to really explore a multitude of topics. I'm not stuck with just one area to focus on. So you'll find a lot of my work to be a combination of costumes, 2D work that's hanging into environments that you kind of walk into and explore your surroundings. What I wish people knew about me, or what they might not know about me, is that I love everything that's different. I can find beauty in almost anything. I love to go and travel and meet new people, experience different cultures, try different foods. For me, it's a fascination of things that are different. I love hearing different viewpoints, experiences from other people. Anything that's different than from my own experience, I want to learn and take in. I love just researching every topic, things I don't know about. For me, I'm constantly wanting to know and understand everything around me. Right now, I just finished a big research grant when I was exploring Qatar. And I kind of moved into another travel where I went to Madrid, I went to Portugal and Morocco. So right now with my work, I'm really starting to incorporate my travels more specifically into different bodies of work. So I'm exploring tiles from Portugal, textiles from Morocco, and all of it's going to kind of come together in a new solo show that I'm doing and soul, and I'm thinking more, I'm kind of leaning towards wearable art and then pairing that with some rugs to kind of mimic the textiles, something a little bit more tactile, things you want to touch and feel. So for me, my work is really starting to kind of move more fiber-based and solely into the wearable art. And just pulling from all the various places that I'm traveling. I have some really exciting trips coming up. So the fellowship really provided me an opportunity to purchase new sewing machines, fabrics, things like that, so I could actually complete a large scale work based on all the costumes that I was creating. And it's such a great fellowship because I really think it provides so much incentive for people to have a chance to show off what they do here in Arkansas and to be supported by the state that they live in. And more importantly, to have funds to really put towards the artwork. Artwork can be super expensive to create, to ship it, it costs quite a lot of money. And a lot of people don't understand that. And it's not just the time that we put into the work that makes it expensive. Sometimes it truly is just the materials that we have to source and things like that. And without the fellowship, I wouldn't have been able to go and pursue that show that I wanted to or make it in the scale that I really wanted to. I think the program is so important for the Arkansas artists because it really shows the initiative from the state, the government, and the surrounding people how important the art is and how important it is to support those individuals who are creating artwork. It's a way to show creativity, it's a visual language, it's ingrained in our life every day that we go out and do things. We see art all around us. Some people might not realize the clothes they wear, to the programs that they're running, to their phones, things like that. Everything was designed with some kind of artistic practice put in place. And it's really wonderful to know that there are these places out there that truly support the arts and provide opportunity for those who necessarily wouldn't have that opportunity. And so I love that I'm living here in Arkansas and I'm supported by my state and being able to do and pursue what I love most. And that's what I love so much about this fellowship.
I work with leather, particularly specialize in making handbags and other leather cases. And I've been working with leather since I was maybe 12, 13. So I've been working with it for a long time. But I launched my brand officially in 2014, New York Fashion Week, and then I was actually in a PhD program for epidemiology, and I was working as a biostatistician at the time. And I left those things in 2017 to do this full time. I am very inspired by nature and dreams, and honestly, I like to think of myself as pretty open to inspiration. I find inspiration in just about everything, but I just like making interesting things, particularly, leather goods, of course, being my specialty. But growing up, I just always saw that my mom had like cool shoes, but all of her handbags, they're just like black, white, brown, beige, blue. I was like, where are the cool handbags? And she just said, they don't really make a lot of interesting bags. So that kind of inspired me to start working with accessories and just trying to make some that were filled with a little bit more personality. So that way they kind of represent an individual better than just another brown bag. So I make everything myself by hand, and from start to finish, I source all my materials and do everything myself. I like to think of it as just I think that there's been some designers who have talked about clothing being, kind of like armor for people. And it is, kind of like something you wear. You put out your personality in a way that you can like really physically manifest. But I like to think of what I do as just creating some kind of physical form that is a magnifying glass on a facet of your own personality. So if you are wearing one of these bags, it's going to say something about you before you even say hello to somebody. I want it to really represent someone's personality. So it's fun to kind of, especially when I do custom orders, to get to know somebody and work with them to create, a piece that really represents them well. I think that sometimes things get lost in translation when someone says that they're a designer. These days, I think a lot of people think that that might mean that you're having t-shirts printed somewhere and then drop shipped. But for me, it is just that I'd like to just kind of hit home the idea that I make every single thing myself by hand, and I'm fully involved in every aspect of my work, and that um, I really like to specialize in doing one of a kind things, and and that I don't know, I like making people feel very special. I like to make things that when somebody picks it up or is wearing it, that they get a little bit of an extra boost that day, like it makes you happy to put on or something. As far as next plans, I just picked up a few new stores that will be carrying my brand. One in San Tropez, one in Palm Desert, California, one in the Upper East Side, Manhattan, and one in the West Hamptons. So just kind of expanding my brand into those new territories. That's going to be a lot of work, especially that many stores at once. I don't typically pick up so many at one time, but I'm happy to have. So I'll be making some new collections to kind of represent those stores' individual clientele. And then from there, I kind of have my sights set on doing a small scale production line that's not my brand OFaolain, but a new brand that I can sell to more like box stores. So like Dillard's, Neiman Marcus, that kind of thing. So that's kind of what's next for me. Yeah, and I just picked up that store in Saint-Tropez in France. So I'm like, I guess I'm international now. So that's kind of neat. But I just showed at Paris Fashion Week for the first time last year, and I've gotten some decent traction in France. I'm just a little Arkansas country boy. So it's interesting seeing it. So this award really helped me out a lot. One of the processes in making these bags that is not only very time consuming, but can be very costly is actually the glue that's used to hold the leather to the interfacing and then that interfacing to the lining. So there are all these layers in between. And the glue that I like to use is a water-based, non-toxic glue. I like to do things very sustainably and ethically and use things that are not toxic. So this fellowship actually, what I did with the money from this is I purchased a machine that is used for gluing leather. It's like the industrial machine that a lot of the major name brands use. And not only does it cut my time, I mean, by like 90% of the amount of time it would take me to glue. I mean, it cuts that out. But it also requires a lot less glue and in turn makes the handbags a lot less heavy. So that's always something that when you're buying a leather bag, you don't want something that's like crazy heavy before you even put your things inside. So cutting back on the amount that it requires me to go through that process and just how fast this new machine allows me to be in terms of the adhesion process. And it's been amazing. I think that this fellowship program is important for artists in Arkansas because we, I think that people look at Arkansas and they, of course, don't think of art, but really we have so many wonderful artists that, represent a lot of different kinds of art and that work with so many different mediums. And for me, I feel very inspired by nature, and I know that many artists are, and we live in the natural state, so it's all around us. And I just feel like Arkansas is underrepresented in terms of its art. So having, people like you guys, that are giving these grants out to all these wonderful artists, it just helps propel people to, have a larger platform to show their art and give some support to be able to grow their businesses and to get seen and to let people know that we've got it going on in Arkansas.